Side Hill, they're leaning towards Royce, so you gonna sit up here and take that shit, or you just gonna...
Man, look, I'm gonna call bullshit. I ain't gonna lie, right? Because look, it's sort of like saying Lupe's not great because he chose to say fuck music. Because I mean, y'all can't give, if we're giving Royce the edge over the last 10 years, how is that even a possible comparison when Lupe ain't did music? So we got to take it back. We can't just give him the edge because he was active.
Catalog is important though. The catalog.
Y'all don't have one. Even with a catalog, like Lupe only had what, a 5-year span, maybe 8 max. Even with that, we can't give Lupe the actual. I mean, we can't give Royce the win because Royce does not have not one song that you could say is like Superstar.
I mean, the joint he did on
Kick
the last joint was pretty much like that. I feel like
what joint?
The joint he had Conway on. It was for rather Superstar-esque in the subject matter and the execution.
Any kick push.
I mean, I would put Boom right up there in that same quality, but they don't make the same type of music.
Lasers. I'm just talking about songs that even if you say that you don't like them, or even if you wasn't a fan that they was riding around in your car, when them shits jumped on the radio, you're gonna sing along.
Lupe's storytelling was on another level too. I always go back to the Cool when he was a former drug dealer that died, dug himself out of a grave as a zombie and went back to the same block that he was hustling on.
For real?
The Cool.
For real?
Yeah.
I listen to that.
That was one of the most amazing
that.
That was one of the most amazing songs I've ever heard. It was He Say, She Say. I mean, the whole Food and Liquor album was incredible. Then the Cool, then the song Streets on Fire that made it sound like, was he talking about Corona? Was he talking about HIV? We don't know. Did you hear that song?
Lupe is really how we have a Kendrick Lamar, in my opinion. You feel me? Just an artist that allows, that's just being their self. It's nothing else. You know, like that line that he said, this how fucking dope he is the line that he said on that little, what was they, Instagram beefing? That's what the new kids do today. Got two old niggas Instagram beefing. But anyway, they was Instagram beefing, and Lupe said some shit like, what do I know? I'm just a martial artist. But I thought that you would understand because you're just a martial artist. Like
martial
literally,
math.
I think the whole martial math is
he was freestyling.
You're about to sway jab or what? I see it in his face. I see it in his face.
I think the whole Eminem shit has always lowered Roy's stock to me for some reason. You feel me? And I might be the only one that felt like that. But
no, I felt like early on. But when I started stuff there and then branched off and started doing more stuff, I'm okay. This man is, you know, he's his own man now. He's no longer in Eminem chat. I see the one but his albums are really good and consistent. So I think that's.
Have we ever heard Lupe lose on a track?
Album?
Huh?
No.
Would you?
Lupe lose on the track. Get outside.
Is Royce even top? Is Royce even the best out of Slaughterhouse?
I think so. I think so.
This point, absolutely.
I think so. Yeah.
Y'all keep doing this point shit though, just because he's the only active one.
I mean, you gotta give him credit. You gotta give him credit for what he's done though recently, because what he's done recently, it's not just that he's active; it's that he's been active at a very high level. Don't get me wrong. Like as you state all of these Lupe stats, like. I'm like, yeah, it's really close. It's really close. Like it wouldn't take a hard push for me to be like, you know, but at the same time, every Lupe thing you bring up, there is a Royce counter to it in his catalog as well. Like his catalog is heavy. Like he got joints where the joint where he got kidnapped and the girls took his kidney while he was asleep. Like that was real conceptual. There's the other joint that he did, you know, premiered to get that shit up off me joint, storytelling wise, and really introspective joint. Like they both dig into bags of tricks that are very unique to them in ways that only they do, and in ways that when you compare them, it's very like, well, this is Zucchini. Yeah, well, this is.
See, and that's another thing. That's another thing that I would say, because we got Lupe as a kid. You know, Royce has had a chance to grow around us. You know, he's matured. He's had things like Book of Ryan, Part 1. That song that he does with the birth of his son, and I think grandmother died or something. It was a lot in that song. I can't remember exactly.
Wait a minute. Yeah. We got Royce as a kid. It was 99 the first time I heard Royce.
No, I'm talking about, but they giving us the comparison is the new Royce, the grown up adult Royce to a 21-year-old Lupe.
I want to compare them prime on prime. So whatever you think, when they were at their absolute best, whether Royce was at his best in 2018 and Lupe was at his best in 2009, who's the better MC, or collectively their whole career? Royce, yeah, he's been better lately. He's been more active, but does that make him a better overall MC than Lupe Fiasco? I could take somebody right now. Kendrick Lamar is greater than Rakim and whoever else, KRS-One, Nas from the past, just because he's one of the best right now. I don't know.
Well, that's different because you comparing two different eras.
True, but I mean,
really
goddamn, man, I'm trying to give you something. I'm trying to give you something to understand what I'm trying to articulate my point.
When was Lupe's last album? We probably in two different eras now.
I think he had something in 2014. Did he have something in 2014?
Something like that, yeah.
The last thing I remember is Murals. And that was like 2015 or something like that. And that was incredible. I mean, the lyricality of that song was unbelievable. I give Lupe the edge when it comes to overall artistry, storytelling, and the album making, even though I think it's really close. But when it comes to technical rhyming, they're doing two different things. But I give Royce the edge if it came down to MC braggadocio, battle rapping. He's good at rapping about rapping. I think Lupe isn't really battle formatted or structured in that way. He's more akin to want to tell a story and be introspective, and Royce is more coming for your throat. So if they were to actually battle, I would give Royce the edge. But you could win in the battle by taking things out of context and just creating some crazy story. If I had to battle one of y'all niggas, I would talk about how I was raising your son.
Yeah, Slangston said something earlier about Lupe possibly being better off the top than Royce the 5'9". I never heard Lupe's freestyle.
He freestyled for 9 minutes the other day on a video all about Royce for 9 minutes. It was all just completely off the top.
Go ahead, Tom.
You can tell it was off the top, because some of it was like, this is irky, like, why are you still going? But then other times he said, like, you know, like that martial arts line is like, wait, if he said that in the battle, it might be trouble.
I don't know. Lupe,
so that alone
Lupe
makes me be like, okay.
Go ahead,
I would say Lupe freestyle is more like fucking Snoop freestyle. They can do it for very long periods, but it's really just fun and exercise. If you're talking about a fucking Royce shit is, I rhyme because I rhyme and I can rhyme very, very good. And this word goes with that word, and you haven't heard this word in a long time, and this goes with that. It makes no fucking sense sometimes, but they are great rhyming words. You know, it's sort of like the Eminem shit. Like, you know, hey, I know way more words than you. I read books, and that sometimes will blow me when it comes to.
I feel like they be making sense. That's part of the art form, though.
They be making sense.
Part of the art form, man. That's just throwing words. It's part of the art form to be creative and bend syllables and shit. This is the highest form.
That's the Eminem thing, and that's why I said that I felt like that was smothered him sometimes, because it forced him. Just think about it. You get on Eminem song, like, and Eminem's not gonna give you a fucking since I'm in a position to talk to these kids and they listen, I ain't no politician. Like, that was a lyrical, but I'm making sense and I'm actually saying something.
Right.
But the majority of the time, Emma's just giving you a lot of fucking syllables. And it forced Royce in a lot of songs to stick to that format of, hey, I'm just not gonna let him bust my ass. I know big words too.
Right.
Like, you know,
because at the end of the day, it ends up looking more lopsided than it is, just because he's putting more alphabets.
Exactly.
Come on, Ty. Ty has asshole qualities.
In the comment section of that Lupe video, when he was freestyling for 9 minutes, somebody said, like, well, he's just making all of this up right now, but most of it is better than most of the industry right now. At the same time, it's like, That is actually true, and it's an indictment and it's impressive at the same time. But I think that if you're just talking about head to head, just the fundamentals of like, okay, I'm gonna diss you and you're gonna try to diss me back. Royce will diss you and you will know it. It will be very clear. Lupe might diss you and you might not even know it until later on, because he might just tell a whole story about a cow and a camel, and he went to another planet and then he came back, and then by the time he gets back, you're like, wait, did you diss me yet or not? He may have really dissed you bad, but you in the audience have no clue.
He gonna have to explain that shit like, nah, see, what y'all didn't know is his mother used to smoke Camel cigarettes, and he grew up on a farm and they had one cow. Like, yo, that shit be so...
You have to give the audience, like, you know, a cheat sheet. They need to clean in those.
So, in conclusion, these guys are really far apart as far as their approach, but they're really close together in terms of talent. It's just their approaches is different.
Scottie Pippen can make a lot of jumpers on Rasheed Wallace, but then Rasheed Wallace could probably dunk on Scottie Pippen.
We don't stop mentioning Big Nose Scottie Pippen and Rasheed. These are your favorite two players. God damn.
Yeah, they definitely talent-wise. I mean, they both are fucking incredible artists. I don't take shit from neither one of them. You feel me? I'm just gonna go on the Lupe side, but talent-wise, they both are fucking incredible. I mean, top tier again. But like Slangston said, we impressed with a lot of shit today because we don't have a lot of shit today. So it's
mediocre's the new dope.
That's a fact.
Wow.
I'm just glad they're talking about battling. Like, this is so much more. This is 1,000 times better just in theory than the actual Drake and Meek Mill's battle ever was.
This guy has to. He finds a way to stick it to Drake somehow. Every time he gets a chance.
He lowers the ball for all of light-skinned time.
God damn. Okay.
It put a lot on that man back.
For all of light-skinned kind, though? All right, look.